What's going on, y'all? We got the Bishop Michael Lee King, the Talayshia Vick story, part 2. This is the update. Let's go.
Back at you.
Krazy Work Podcast. This your host, Big Slim.
I'm your host, AL. We back at you with this story, this crazy work. We know y'all ready for it. Let's get it.
The Talayshia Vick story. What's going on?
Hey, y'all. What's up?
Nothing much. How you been doing?
I'm doing good. As y'all can see, I'm getting my hair done and everything, but let's get into it. So, as y'all been following with, Jackie Spears, that's my aunt through marriage, and she's been getting her story out there. They did convict him, and, they didn't convict him, but they did, he had, a bond hearing a couple days ago.
Yeah, hold on. Not to cut you over, that September 9th, right?
Yeah.
I think, okay.
So he has been charged, right? Basically.
Yeah, they gave him 3 big charges, and I think there's more charges coming.
Would you know what those charges are?
If you go to the Rowan County mugshots, they got them listed right there.
All right, okay.
I know that one of the bigger ones was I think it was a rape charge and some other stuff. But I don't remember them off the top of my head, but her story's been getting out, and she's been having a lot of people support her and get her story out there. And just kind of wanted to come on here and just provide some updates and stuff. And I guess kind of talk about, just give more encouragement to the other victims, because I know that it's getting real big and it's getting kind of viral. So I think that kind of scares a lot of people. So I really want to kind of come on here and do a couple things. First, I want to clear up something from the last interview.
Okay.
So the guy that I told you guys about, Eric Jaime, we knew him as Eric, but he has an older brother. His name is actually Eric. The guy that we were talking about, his name is Jamar.
You said
Jamar.
Jamar. Okay. So what happened with that? I mean, obviously somebody must have said something to him or something like that from the exposure.
Yeah, he actually reached out to me himself and was like, hey, I saw your story and I just want to let you know, I'm Eric, and the Eric you're talking about, they call him Eric, but his name is actually Jamar. And he was like, can you please clear that up for me? Thinking it was me doing this stuff. He was like, I would never do that to a kid. And I'm like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'll clear it up and I'll make sure that I can, kind of get that clarity so he's not being attacked for no reason. Because, if he ain't do nothing wrong, then I don't see no point.
You don't want, the way people do things nowadays, you don't want, because, you got to think stories like that be touching the grown men, and they be wanting to put their head like that. It don't slide in the penitentiary, the county jail. Certain people on the streets might be like, hey, man, I heard about, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that.
Real touchy subject.
So I can understand his fear, basically, of something happening to him behind a name mix-up. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of responses or feedback that you had since you've done that first episode with us?
So it's been a lot of mixed. So there are people who are, kind of helping and supporting and showing love, and then there's a lot of people that are being telling, people that they need to kill themselves. Even
wow.
Yeah, some of my siblings, they were telling me there are some people that are telling people in their family y'all need to kill yourselves, and people are just being real they being real aggressive, and I get it, right? A 35-year-old man, he first of all, he groomed touching on a 14-year-old girl, gets her pregnant, she get a baby, and so that's outrage is warranted. But telling people to kill themselves and you just going y'all going off the rails, and this is very sensitive for everybody involved. And it's I wish people would take the time to think before they say certain things, because everybody got a pass. Not defending him per se, but, the victims on top of the people who are going through it and struggling with it, because it's hard right now. So it's just people need to stop acting like they're so perfect.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
And like I said, not defending that nigga, because I ain't defending no pedophile, period. But, just trying to get people to understand, before you come out your mouth and say certain things, think about the power of your words. You telling people to kill themselves and you don't even got the full story. That's why things are being investigated. That's why things are, being they're in the works. Like, just wait till y'all get the full story. Then y'all can start saying whatever y'all need to say. But like, don't be telling people to kill themselves.
Yeah,
like, I think that's crazy.
Not to cut you off, like at the end of the day, you know, people don't have, if it's not their business, I mean, everybody has an opinion, but it seems like everybody's trying to have the most diabolical opinion, like you said, passing judgment, and nobody's perfect. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody got a story, everybody got something that they might not want to share because of fear of judgment, and you shared that. That's why I said you're courageous, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, the comment section is really like, I don't know, this shit's so lame sometimes, not unless it's actually positive support, you get what I'm saying? But people will have something negative knowing that they probably the worst person.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have you received any type of threats? I didn't mean to cut you off or nothing. I was just wondering.
Nah, you're good. I've only had like a few people like in
after the episode.
Yeah, like after the episode, I've only had a few people come out and be like just egregious with like the disrespect, like telling me, well, why you wait so long to talk about it? And I'm like, you clearly ain't watched the video when I told you I started talking about this when I was 13. So, you know, and it takes long for people to come out and speak on it because y'all don't take them serious the first time when they do say it.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, I've only had a few people like come out their mouth saying something crazy. I've had people try to use the scriptures against me and tell me like, you know, God don't need your voice. You just need to pray about it. And it's just like, nah, I'm not doing all that.
That's
like,
wild.
I'm not
devil work. That's definitely the devil's work right there for sure.
That's crazy. That's real crazy.
Yeah. So that's kind of, you know, some of the stuff I went through. I had some family members kind of come against me a little bit. And I, you know, like I said, it's real sensitive. This is not just my family or it's the whole family. So it's like, you got some people that are trying to figure out what that means to them. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's all convoluted and all like really messy right now. Everybody just trying to figure out like how to move forward. And I just told, you know, some of my family members like, look, this is now the right time for us to be healing. Like, yeah, you know, rape is rape at the end of the day. So stop trying to water it down and make it seem like it's something completely different. No, rape is rape at the end of the day. Molestation is molestation. Like, cut it out.
So
cut it out. Like,
are they afraid of the spotlight? Not to cut you off, but they're afraid of the spotlight being placed on your family, basically?
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, I think a lot of people are. Nobody likes for the family skeletons to be
out the closet,
open like that. And I get it, I do, but it's like one of those things. Like, I've had family members tell me like, well, they could have just did it a better way. And it's like, what way is there? Because when they tried to come to you and they tried to speak on it, y'all still kept letting the pedophile come to the family reunions. Y'all still kept letting the pedophile come to the cookouts, and y'all kept letting the pedophile come around the kids. Even though y'all, so
that's
it's
crazy.
Like, what other way was there to do it besides letting it blow up and get the exposure that it needed? Because clearly this ain't the only family that this has happened to. This happened to multiple families across the triad. Like, it's not even like after seeing my aunt's story and after seeing my story and then seeing so many people have the same story, I'm like, okay, clearly this is an epidemic that we need to address within the Black community. Because there's no reason why so many women, so many men are having the same story. We live in the same life and we don't even know each other. So there's a problem that we need to address, because that whole thing where people say like, oh, well, you know, back in the day, that's just how they did it. I don't give a damn how they did it back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they really be trying to, you know, I guess they try to like protect the tradition or the old ways or whatever. But I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, if you like little girls and little boys, bro, you a pedophile. And at the end of the day, like, I don't want you nowhere near my kids.
Period, point blank.
Yeah, I don't care what year, what month, that shit is just wrong, period. You know what I mean? You're definitely right. But you mind if we play that little short snippet? You said that's your aunt, right? Through marriage, so the people can kind of get a grasp of what's going on here?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, let's get into that video right there.
A lot of people have been asking about the victims regarding the Contaminated Pulpit series of Michael Lee King, the so-called bishop up there in Salisbury, North Carolina, over the Damascus Church. Well, the one who got this actually started is evangelist Jacqueline Spears. They call her Jackie, and she has a son. And let me break down where this son came from. So she was a child, and she was being violated continuously. And she ended up getting pregnant by Michael Lee King. And Michael Lee King, in order to cover his sins, asked his brother, Titus King Sr., to marry her and take on the role of being the father of this unborn child. This unborn child finally was born, and the child was named after Titus King Sr., and his name is Titus King Jr. Now, Evangelist Spears has something to say, and I'm going to tell you exactly what she said. She said, to everyone that's offended that my story is out and still hiding behind the walls, I was silenced for over 30 plus years, and the silence is finally over. This is not a reflection of God. It's a reflection on how some leaders, saints, and so-called friends will use their authority to victimize people. And yet the church keeps silent, and they stand with the victimizer instead of the victim. It takes more than just saying, I'll pray about it. If it was your child, what would you do? Many of y'all said I was a liar. You said I was a loose woman, that I was crazy and delusional. Now what are you saying? You see, when one don't speak up, you all are just as guilty. And guess what? The DNA did not lie. When I was young, just a child, I went to so many people that were in the churches. And whatever fellowship that they went to go visit, I was trying to cry out. Nobody wanted to help me. The only thing they could say was, he's an attorney. He'll lose his license. He's a pastor. All we got to do is pray about it. But the most hurtful thing was people going around saying that I was lying. You tried to put trash on my name. You were embarrassed to even talk to me. You treated me and my children like dogs. And Michael Lee King wasn't the only one that violated me, and I'm going to see to it that all are brought to justice. And to all you leaders and saints and ain'ts, stop coming together to protect evildoers. The Bible says when you pray, you're supposed to watch also. That means you're supposed to do something. And to everybody that did support me openly, I thank you and I love you. I am silent no more. Those were her words. Y'all keep her and her son, Titus King Jr., lifted in prayer, and all the other victims that are getting ready to come forward.
Crazy word.
Yo, that's really major though.
So many
that's really major.
Coming out like I know. I just want to know, were you one of the first ones to really like come out and say this, and other people were following up behind you, or what?
So I just remember being like 13 and, you know, like for the first time talking about it. And I remember it was something that we just could not talk about. Like they would throw it under the rug. They'll like, sometimes they'll get angry and be like, shut your mouth. Like, we're not even about to talk about that. We're not even about to go there. We're about to, you know, they just wouldn't like address it. And so the only people that I could talk to about that were like my cousins, like Abigail, Vanessa, and Patrice. And we would talk about it, and we had like some of our other cousins, like the only cousin that I really had that did protect us like he was supposed to was our cousin Tim. And he was the one who would kind of like, I guess, kind of be like the shield to protect us. He'll tell us like, go outside whenever he saw that like, oh, okay, like these niggas like kids, like y'all go outside. Like, don't
shout out to Tim, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He was the one who stepped up and tried to like protect us and keep us, you know, keep our innocence like safe. But I started talking about this when I was 13, and I just remember always getting some pushback. Even when I got 15 and I was like pregnant with my first child, and I started talking to my dad about it, first thing they did was tell me I was a liar and said that didn't happen to you. And I'm like, why in the world would I lie about something like that? Like, and then it's like, you already know that the family itself had stuff like this going on. So why would I lie about that if you already knew it was going on in different parts of the family? So it's just.
Do you think they are victims as well in their past times?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
your dad and people like that.
I don't know if my dad was like a victim. I do know that family really like talked down on him. Like they used to basically bully him and call him like he wasn't no man, because it was a lot.
That's
like
crazy.
That is just a lot of abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of mental abuse, a lot of verbal abuse. My dad would work on their cars and he'll do so much for them. And I guess that was his way of trying to prove to them that like I'm a good man, or I don't know what it was.
His loyalty towards them, they got him brainwashed.
Like I guess that was his way of trying to prove himself to be like a man. And, you know, because his wife was their younger sister. So my stepmom, that was their baby sister.
Oh, he wanted to be accepted, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that kind of, so, I mean, if you think about it, being in my dad's shoes and then you fighting for acceptance in that family. Because my dad didn't really have a good family either. Like, you know, they was all separated, all spread apart. Like he, you know, I'm not really sure what my dad's family dynamic was, but
It was
my
division.
stepmom, she had a big family. So it was like I could kind of see how my dad wanted to be accepted, but then it's like you fighting to be accepted in a family that did these things to your children. So it was like you could imagine like his pain, the feeling of being like betrayed and stuff.
Hell
That's
yeah.
like, that's why I don't get mad when it comes to my stepmom or my dad for real, because I just have to step back and put myself in their shoes. Like they were the younger siblings on both sides. So it's like to be a younger sibling and then to find out that your older siblings, like people that you like trusted in, people that you looked up to, they do this type of stuff to your kids. Like, bro, I wouldn't really know what to do with that. I wouldn't know how to feel. I wouldn't know the next thing to do. It's like how you trust somebody and then you look up to them and then they doing that stuff to your babies. It's like, how do you even, what do you even do? So that's why, you know, I be trying to show a little grace and show a little mercy when it comes to that. I try to like be a little sparing about my words whenever I am talking about their behavior and stuff like that, because really that whole family just, everybody is messed up in the head and they need some type of therapy, some type of healing. But it's like you can't heal if you don't address it.
You can't. You got to.
Do you think that since you know you aired on the show the first time, that your story, once it got out, do you think that's kind of like slowing up your healing process because of all the negative energy behind it? Or I mean,
Oh no, like for every negative Nancy, there's like 100 positive people.
Okay,
like,
that's a fact.
The amount of people that don't know me that are coming to me and just showing their prayers, showing their support, showing love, showing like so much.
That's
Like,
great. That's great.
yeah, it's crazy. Like literally the amount of support and love that I have gotten, it overshadows so much of the negativity.
That's what I want to hear.
To the point where I don't even see it. I don't even see
That's
it.
what's up.
So yeah, like, and I think that's just God's way of like protecting the victims from people who are trying to tear them down. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Like the victims have been tore down for years. 30 years for me, it's been like 17. But for others, it's been
long time to be feeling silenced when you was violated, especially at an early age. And you know, like you say, as you grow and you try to heal and find growth, and you've been silenced for so long, like it's like, where's the growth at in that? I don't see it.
And you don't really see it at first. Like you don't really see the growth until one day you're on a podcast talking about it and you don't cry as much as you used to. You don't really see it until you in that moment, and then you look back and you're like, dang, I have grown a lot. Because when I first started talking about this, I used to cry so much and I couldn't even get through the whole story before I was in tears, just busting out crying, because it was like I couldn't even believe that happened to me.
And then reflecting back.
Yeah, because it's like I got daughters, so to feel that pressure of understanding what happened to me and then also feeling like that anxiety so that it doesn't happen to my own kids, that's a lot scary. That's a whole lot. And you know, I went to, you know, therapists and talked to them, and they were just like, you know, even some of the therapists were like, yeah, you're gonna need like psychiatric type of help, because your trauma is very complex and it's compounded. This is not just a one-time event. This was several events that happened back to back to back. And then, you know, being 15 and pregnant, that's traumatic. And then, you know, I had the abusive relationship with, you know, my youngest daughter's father. That was traumatic. It was just trauma upon trauma upon trauma. It had got to a point where I was like, dang, God, do you even love me for real? Because, like, why am I going through this type of stuff? But I have to realize that, like, you know, at the end of the day, God is not doing nothing for my harm. Nothing. It's all for my benefit. And the thing is, right, like, even though I was going through that stuff, he was with me through it all.
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, even though these were humans who did these things to me, God was the one who helped me get back up. So that's why one thing I will say out of that whole situation in my childhood that I went through, I thank them for introducing me to Christ. I thank them for introducing me to God, because even though the devil was in the church, it's like God was too. And for a long time, I ran away from God, but it's like I don't even know how to like really explain it for real. It's just he was there when I was a child. He here now. And even though I saw so much evil growing up, it's like he never left us. He never left us. And it's just I'm just real thankful that he sustained me and he kept me, because I look at everything we're going through now with getting it all out there and getting it exposed. It's like I could really be a bitch. I could really be the worst person. I could be doing stuff like that to other people's kids. Yeah. But here I am spreading awareness and protecting other people's kids. I'm trying to teach people how to see the signs that their kids are being, exposed in the worst kind of ways. It's like,
hold on, not to cut you off, but that's something powerful right there. Like you trying to teach people how to see the signs in kids that a lot of people not even paying that no attention. You get what I'm saying? Like that's really major.
Yeah, for real. And it's like, that's why I think that you got to take your pain and really use it for good, because at the end of the day, like you can't just sit there and be in pain. Like pain don't do nothing for nobody. Either it's going to make you or it's going to break you. And if you're going to continue to just be in pain, then it's like, how are you going to grow from that? How are you going to become what you need to become if you just let the pain eat you up? So that's my goal. And for the next couple of years, is just to not let this eat me up, not let it destroy me, not let it take me to a dark place. Cause I got daughters, they watching me. Yeah. So it's like, they have to see their mom be an overcomer, even though, I shouldn't have to overcome anything. Like I should have had a safe childhood, but we can't cry over spilled milk. We just gotta roll with the punches and keep it going. That's what we do as Black people. We good at that. And so hopefully these, everybody's story, all the victims, hopefully their stories can kind of really motivate other Black people and and not just Black people, but everybody, like all races, just kind of motivate the masses to like protect their kids more. Like don't just let your kids do whatever they want. Like really supervise them with other kids. Don't just.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like don't just care about your children, like parent your kids. Don't be a deadbeat parent and just let your kids do whatever.
Hey, let me ask, since you said that, like, you can have a parent, like kids live in the household, they take good care. Like you said, I think some parents could be like a deadbeat parent in the house because they're not teaching the value. Just because you're supportive financially, you're not mentally creating a stable structure mentally for your children. I look at that as a deadbeat parent, if you ask me.
On the inside.
On the inside.
It's more than just providing food, clothing, and shelter. And all you cook, they got TV, they got a PlayStation, they got a house, but nobody's talking about, character traits and how to actually become a real woman.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? A real man. Because if you look at it, most families don't even sit at the dinner table no more. Everybody's on, ever since the phone is out, everybody's in their own individual room on the phone. The kids might text you like, hey, what are you cooking? You know what I'm saying? So there is no real family bond in most houses.
Like, it's super disconnected, and, we got to get away from that. We got to get back to having like actual families. And I mean, like right now, especially in the Black community, there's a lot that we need to address. It's a lot that we need to try to like figure out what we doing. Because when I look at us sometimes, I'm like, what are we really doing? Like, we are not taking care of our kids. We're not taking care of our women. We're not taking care of our men. What are we actually doing?
We losing our culture.
Because people don't want to hold themselves accountable when you're like, if you're fucked up and you need somebody to help you get it together, communicative wise, and some people don't have that, but I think that's wrong with the Black community. Nobody wants to reach out to one another because they're scared the support that they get is minimal. You have to go to a complete stranger to get a different support system.
Yeah, for real. And I think what it is, we have stopped learning how to be a support system. Because when Big Mama was alive, she was like, Big Mama house is where you went to get everything you needed. Okay, right? Like granddaddy, he was there. Backbones. So when that behavior didn't get really passed down because times were changing, like women were going back to work, men were going to work. Like the whole dynamic was changing, and I don't think any of us was ready for it. So whenever it just changed like that, we kind of had to get ready, but nobody was ready. So now you just got people kind of stumbling and falling all over the place trying to figure it out, and they don't know what they're doing. So it's just you try to figure out the best way you can, and you try to just do the best you can. But you know, we can do better. It's just we gotta really, some of us gotta really sit down and really talk about it, and really like we gotta come up with a plan or something, that especially to protect our babies. Like this whole like seeing like a 5-year-old listen to NBA YoungBoy, that's a bit much. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
agree.
that's a bit crazy. You know, I
That's
think,
everywhere now.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
like since your journey, like what I know you're dealing with the family issues. You spoke on the word healing, and that's a good thing that you're trying to do that amongst everybody, but everybody not on the same page. But
Yeah.
my thing is, what challenges are you facing in your healing process when you're trying to get everybody else to be where you're at within this situation?
Yeah. It's really just a lot of like pushback. It's a lot of people that are just stuck, you know, wanting to do the same narrative. Like, oh no, it's her fault. Even though she was 14, you
That's
know,
crazy,
oh, she
man.
was sleeping with all the brothers. Like, I be hearing that shit, and I'm like, bro, what? She 14, a whole child, bro. I don't care if a child wanted to do that. Like, if you a grown man, you 35 years old, right? And a child comes up to you. First of all, you need to be asking that child
As a
why.
35-year-old
Yeah,
man,
that's
first of
Yeah.
all,
that's way too
start
old.
there.
That's way too old
Old
to
enough to be
even.
her dad. Old enough to be her daddy.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
at,
I don't
like,
care if he was
so
21 and you were 14, you still
yeah,
should know fucking better, you know?
yeah, for real. So that's really like a lot of the stuff. So I'm realizing that the healing journey, not everybody gonna come with you. Not everybody gonna think that they on the same page as you. You just kind of got to do it for yourself. And I'm just kind of, for me, I think the hardest thing that I've been dealing with so far is trying to make sure my heart don't get bitter. Like
Okay,
that's the thing
okay,
I do not want my heart to get
okay.
bitter. I to become an unforgiving person. I don't even want to speak evil on those people because I wouldn't be no better than them.
That's
And I'm a grown woman. Like I got kids, and like I said, they watching me, so I can't afford to have my heart get tainted with that evil and that darkness. Because like I said, I wouldn't be no better than them if I wish death on them, or I say things like, "Oh, God gonna get you." God ain't finna do nothing but do exactly what he said he was gonna do. If he wants to punish them or whatever, you let that be done. But I always, like when I pray about the situation, I always say, like, Lord, let the Lord's will be done. And
yeah, yeah. That's powerful.
yeah, because it's not up to me at the end of the day. Just like it took 30 years for justice to come. You know, it wasn't up to me, just like it wasn't up to her. It wasn't up to nobody but God. So all I'm trying to do is fall in line and stay on my path. And if nobody else wants to heal, hey, that's on y'all. Stay broken then.
And see,
But I choose to heal. I choose to move past it. I choose to forgive Daniel. I choose to forgive Tevin, Eric, and anybody else who did what they did to my siblings and myself. Like I choose to heal. Like y'all got that. Y'all, because I also understand that those boys, they were also, they were victims too at one point in time. They just decided to be the predator, and it is what it is. But I'm choosing to heal. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be unforgiving. Ain't nothing about to take me away from God. I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
I told you I felt like you had a beautiful spirit, just the way you accepted what happened
Being
and,
so
and,
forgiving
and
as
being
well.
forgiven and letting God do what God does and just allowing his will to be done, but also knowing that you got a better path in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like such a strong woman. I watch how you are with your daughters. You keep them close to you, watching, very observant. Everything's all respected. So I love you. And I always just say I salute you though, for real, for real. And I feel like a lot of women will gain strength from your strength, you know.
I hope for real, because it's it will get dark. It do get dark. Still to this day, I have nightmares. Still to this day, I can't like I'll be at work and there might like a vision of what I went through will kind of like hit me and I get stuck a little bit. But sometimes, I just say hallelujah Jesus, and like there's power in his name. You know what I'm saying? There's power in the name of Jesus. So for me, I just lean on Christ, and I just lean on him because I know at the end of the day, like, he got me. And as long as he got me, I don't really need nothing else. Like, my daughters, they don't need nothing else. God got them. Just like he got me, just like he got everybody else. So that when people ask me that, like, and I tell them my story, they're like, what? You don't even look like you went through that. And I be telling them, like, God, that's why. That's why you don't think I went through that, because God repaired. He restores and he repairs. And, without him, I'm literally nothing. Literally.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Hey, man, I'm glad you are where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? The rain don't last forever.
That wig split.
Yeah, she back there. I got to say, you doing your thing, no, because her hand back there going crazy right now. Your head ain't never moves. That's what's up. Shout out to the stylist. I don't know the name of that beauty salon. You can shout out while she doing your hair.
Yeah,
you know
shout out.
Telling you, she finna be on payroll, and she's so good at what she do.
I see that hair moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all like a little link so y'all can shout her out, because boy, she is good at what she
You
do.
let the people know. You let the people know who
we on
she
it right
is.
now. Y'all
Talk
do
to
your
us. Let
thing.
her know
Live.
who she
What's
is.
up?
Let's talk.
I tell you, she do her thing. Trying to tell you.
What's the name of the building?
Where they can catch her at? What's
It's the Crown Beauty Way on all social media. It's KROWNE Beauty Way.
Okay.
Shout out.
Clip you out there. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, you do wicks?
Nah, just braids.
Okay.
All right. I respect it.
Still get you some business popping. Let's
Good
go.
work, good work.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah. Hold on for 1 second, Talayshia. We got to shout out our sponsor, Jharris Investments. Safe, secure, affordable housing, building up the community one house at a time. Y'all already know every segment. We put the link in the description. We're gonna also have a link for the description with this brand new hairstylist, is glitz and glamour. Y'all already see what's going on. You see the fingers twisting.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this recap has been real touching still, just to really reflect on where you at since the first episode and the feedback and everything that you've been receiving. It's kind of like, it's like you always gonna have to relive, but like you said, you've been restored and repaired, and you kind of grew past a lot of things by opening up and being transparent with everybody that's been involved. It's kind of crazy though, for real.
Yeah, literally, I was just at church today, and I had a couple of church members come up to me, and they were like, they were telling me like that some of their family members kind of went through what I went through, and they were just like, back then, we couldn't speak on it. Like, we were made to feel ashamed that we went through stuff like that. And they were just telling me how proud that they were about how I'm going about, how I'm using my faith and how I'm using my salvation. And I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, like, God was the only one who was there. Like, he stood up for me. He defended me. He made sure I got justice. So, it's just, I feel like this is the way that I could show God that, like, I appreciate him for being there for me. Like, tell my story, make sure that other women and other children can get have that same power and confidence to, like, speak their story as well. Because I'm tired of being a victim. I'm tired of that narrative.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be a victim. I want to be the type of person that said, yeah, this happened to me, but guess what? But God.
I'm still winning though.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. So I know that, because even my uncle, when he, after he came out of jail, he got back in the pulpit, and he was speaking about the podcast, like the first episode. And he was like, this person, they were lying, and they even wrote the stuff down on a piece of paper and added more lies to it. And I was just like, sir.
Oh, speaking about you?
Yeah, he was talking about me and saying he had called Ruben a bald head. And I'm like, you do
I know
realize
they want to see us bad. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut y'all.
So, I feel like if somebody was going to accuse me of something like that, I would be asking questions. I wouldn't immediately jump to say, oh, no, they're lying.
Yeah.
It would more like, well, why do they think I did that? And then I would try to reach out to her like, well, why do you think I did that? I never did that. So maybe there's a misunderstanding or something. Like, I just would have never jumped to say that the other person was lying. Because I've been accused about things before, but I've never just jumped straight at saying, oh, you're a liar, you're lying about that. Nah, it's a certain way how an innocent person acts versus how a guilty person acts.
Guilty conscience. But
You know what I'm saying?
just
So when somebody guilty, they're gonna immediately say that the other person accusing them is a liar.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so
if you ain't did nothing, you ain't gotta say that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, but just because a person is a man of the cloth don't mean they free from sin. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody walking this earth is a sinful person. You know what I'm saying? There's no one that's completely 100% righteous. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes they put them people above that, like they're free from sin. Nah, you know, people.
You're not exempt.
Yep. And really, to be a pastor and you rape a child, regardless if it was like forcible rape or statutory rape, it really don't matter. But to claim that that's what you are, like you're a man of God, men of God don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And God is the one who said, don't touch, he says, touch not my anointed. So how are you going and you claiming to be anointed, but this is what you're doing behind closed doors? You praying on people, like you're literally taking your hands, anointing their head with oil and praying. Sir, you don't even realize like what you're doing is dangerous, like spiritually.
Yeah.
Like, you about to send people to hell for real. Cause why are you doing that? You need to repent. For real. So when we were looking at his mugshot, it looked like he was crying. And his eyes was like real swollen and stuff. And it was just like, all you had to do, sir, was first of all, not touch a 14-year-old girl.
That's shame. That's the shame.
Yeah, the shame and the guilt. Like, and now that it's being exposed, so many people still love him and still rock with him. And I get that. I mean, because I can't imagine my brother being accused of something like that. I would probably beat my brother's ass, all of them. For real. I don't stand for nothing like that. But it's hard to see and hear that the one you love done did something crazy like that, and you've known them your whole life. So that cognitive dissonance will really mess with a person's head, and I see why that family is kind of struggling right now. All I do now is just I pray for them. I pray for their deliverance. I pray for their safety. I pray for, just trying to help them figure it out, because I mean, if you're going to be a pastor, you clearly ain't following Jesus doing that type of stuff. Jesus ever. So it's just the only thing I can do for them is just pray and hope that, he really get right, because it's just like, sir, yeah, that's some tough stuff. That boy is 33 years old now. 33. And that's how he had to find out who his real father was. Like,
that's how he just found out?
Yeah.
Man.
A terrible way to find out your
That's
dad
crazy
a pedophile. Work. Like, you did that to your mom, the kind of way to find out how I was created. Why you raping my mom, bro?
And then what is it? His brother portrayed to be his father, right?
Yeah, man. It's a lot of dirt. It's a dirty.
Yeah, that's some dark secrets, man. Yeah. It's really like a Tubi movie for real.
Yeah, it's real dark. And I don't know why so many people are like defending him. And it's like, I don't really think I understand it, but I don't really care to understand it. I just really want that family to heal. I want them to address it. I want them to get better. Like, bro, if you know you got a problem and, you know that you had a problem, because he, in that one video on YouTube, he was like, I knew hell wasn't made for me because I used to like little boys.
Yeah, I seen that.
And it was like,
he's trying to twist the narrative. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's like, but you failed to mention that you raped a 14-year-old girl, but you used to like boys. Come on, bro.
So he gave a little bit of truth while he was talking, but forgot the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll admit this little bit so they can feel like I'm telling the truth. I just couldn't get the video because it was on Facebook. Matter of fact, I seen it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just wow.
It was weird because I've known that man my whole life. Ain't never known that man to like no type of little boys. He ain't never said that until just now. So when I was like, okay, this is his way of trying to get ahead of the bullet, but baby, that DNA don't lie. So I feel like that was his way of trying to like put stuff on the table to say like, oh yeah, well, I'm not perfect, but now all of a sudden you used to like boys, nigga, you ain't never.
So if that with his son, if that like wouldn't have came out, that part, the DNA part, Do you think that they probably would have still been trying to press the charges on him off just the word of mouth situation, or was that enough to get him?
They needed that DNA.
Yeah,
sure.
that's a fact. That was enough to kill him right there, right there.
They needed that for sure because there's like 30, 40 people coming out and talking, but it's not enough for just
30,
work.
This is
40
concrete
people.
evidence right here.
30 or 40 people is coming out on this case.
And like I didn't realize
That's like
that
a serial rapist.
Yeah, that's serial rapist type shit.
like this was like years before I was born, because you gotta remember my aunt, that was in 91 when that happened. So I was born in 98. So the fact that this shit transcends generations is why it needs to be.
90s, 2000s, could have been the 80s.
Yeah, bro. Like my cousin Talayshia, she's the one that's been helping all of us get our story out. So like I'll give you
Is
her
she a victim as well?
I'm not sure. I just know that she's the one that's been orchestrating and helping us all get our story out. And Ruben, he's been giving her a shout out here too. Her name is Talayshia White. And she's been really like working overtime, helping us get our story out and just helping us like give power to our voice. And so I just remember like talking to her and telling her like, yeah, I'm not backing down. Like I didn't back down when I was 13. I'm not gonna back down now. I'm 27 now. I'm very grown. So I dare somebody to try me, anybody, like, cause I done seen people trying to like come up to the victims and trying to like, do stuff. No, don't even try it. Like don't even try it. It's just, it ain't gonna end good for nobody. I need for people to understand like this is a very, very sensitive situation. And at the end of the day, justice is going to get where it needs to get. So they just need to get on board with that, because trying to attack victims, that's not going to stop the truth from coming out.
Yeah.
It's all here.
That's a
So
fact.
they just need to go ahead and be on point with what they, like, everybody just need to get on point, because it's a lot. And even when I went and talked to the agents, they even was like sighing because it was so much information. It was just from me, it was a lot of information. So I already know from the other victims who are older than me, and then the victims before them, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like this like it's too much.
Of compound evidence, basically.
Is he the only one? Is there going to be other people that's possibly arrested along with him?
Most definitely. Like freaking Nathan King, for sure.
Crazy word.
Pretty sure got some type of evidence on him.
Y'all don't get pissed off at crazy work, man, because we just delivering the real stories, man. Let's go.
That's the thing. Everybody, they love to shoot the messenger, but the truth is, like, a lie don't care who tell it. But whoever tells the truth, that matters more. So it's like whoever gives it, because I already know with the King family, they're going to try to hide it. They're going to try to like bury it, because that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that 30 years, sweeping stuff under the rug for years. But all them brothers, I think all the brothers, they most definitely finna like they all finna like, they all, to me anyway, they all need to go to jail. That's just me. Even though I can forgive and I can, but yeah, bro, like if that's what you're going to be doing, and then you trying to assert yourself as like a man of God, but that's the type of stuff you doing, bro, men of God don't do that. Like you do not deserve to be in a pulpit doing nothing. And then people try to say like, oh, well, let him who without sin cast the first stone. And it's like, man, yeah, miss me with that.
That's crazy word.
Well, y'all forgot the scripture where Jesus tells you to judge, but okay. Like, miss me with that. Ain't nobody of righteousness should be touching kids and messing with kids. That's not righteous at all.
So what do you have going on in store for the future?
So I do plan on, like, I do want to, write like a book, like a children's book that helps little kids understand what good touches are and bad touches are. Like, and I kind of want to create my own podcast about being like a single mom and looking for these things, because whether people want to believe it or not, single mothers are more targeted for pedophiles. Target us a lot more, which is why I try to. It's just the whole dating process is different for single moms, like, because y'all got to be real, real careful. Like men and women alike. Like people are weird, so I want to create a podcast about talking about that, the signs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just being like real vigilant and hyper vigilant about those sort of things, because it's just too common out here. You know, too many people got the same story, so we gotta do something about it. You know.
All right. Well, we looking forward to that in the future. So we're gonna let you get to your hair. I appreciate you definitely tapping back in with us with this update, for real. And I'm glad that you really getting the support that you deserve and need, and hopefully, it comes in more and more.
Yeah,
I'm glad I was here to get to know you on this interview. I wasn't here the last time, but yeah, it's a good look.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, don't forget to send that link though, so we can put it in the description.
Yeah.
All right, I will.
Stay safe. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. We tap in. Yeah, that was it's crazy work, man. Crazy work. So it's crazy, bro. We're gonna have to let that marinate on
that
down.
Feedback is ridiculous, bro. I mean, I'm asking these questions because I need to know, like, what type of influence they're getting from, the guests that we're having on the show, and the people that's really tuning in, bro. And it's kind of like she getting a lot of love and support, but at the same time, she getting just much pushback as well.
It's gonna be, everything is gonna have backlash, bro. Some people's gonna be like, you talking about a man of God, or, you know what I'm saying? People got these opinions, but like, what can you say? Everybody has a story, and you got the freedom of speech.
Yeah,
so
we
you can
just
tell her
give
story.
her a good voice for she to get that shit up off her chest, and any other victims or any other people, ladies that's been out there that may want to get their voice heard from some things they've been through. You got Krazy work here to help support you in that movement.
For sure. So y'all know what it is. If it ain't crazy, what the fuck is, man?
Let's go.
We out of here.